Namaste. Welcome to North Beach Yoga. Today we're doing about a 10-minute hip sequence, and it's because we hold a lot of tension in our hips, whether it's muscular or emotional or things in our past or just general day-to-day life. We can be feeling a bit of tension in our hips, which can refer into the lower back and can just put us completely out of whack in terms of our posture. And that can also affect our mood as well, how we feel in our spirit. So before we begin this 10-minute sequence though, I do encourage you to take a bit of time to just connect with this moment on your mat. So as much time as you like. Throughout the practice today, I encourage you to also pause the video as often as you like. So we'll just be going through a few things fairly quickly. So if you want to take more time, if you have more time, then I really encourage you to pause and take as much time as you need. So we'll start to close the eyes and just taking some deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. Really come to notice the presence of your breath. And so you're sitting in any comfortable sitting position. You might be sitting up on blankets or bolsters. If you can, sit in this cross-legged position, Sukhasana, then that's already a bit of a hip opening pose for you. Just a couple more breaths here, settling the mind, settling the body, trying to drop into that relaxation response. Signaling the body that we're calm and relaxed. When you're ready, bring the palms to touch in front of your heart center into Anjali Mudra and setting your Sankalpa, your intention. What you'd like to really focus inwardly on today. And gently opening the eyes. So we'll begin the sequence now, coming over onto hands and knees. Dropping all the way back into child's pose. And so before we begin, really also I want to remind you that the very first element of the first limb of the 8 limbs of yoga, the first branch if you like, is to practice ahimsa. So this means non-violence, or you might like to think of it as, first we do no harm to ourselves and to others. So in this practice, that's really important for yourself. So making sure that you just honour your body, however it feels today, different to mine, different to how your body felt yesterday. Just see how you go and do what feels right, what served you most today. When you're ready, we're going to rock forwards into a semi-plank position. Fingers are spread wide. And exhale, dropping back into child's pose, arms extended. You might have your feet turned over like mine. Get a bit of a stretch through the soles of the feet. But you can have the toenails down if you prefer. As you inhale, we come forwards. And as we exhale, we're going to swing the hips out to the right edge of the mat, off the edge of the mat indeed, and back of the mat to the left and forwards. Exhaling back, inhaling forwards. So it's like your hips are drawing these big circles that take up the whole of the center of the mat, and then even off the mat as well. You might like to hang in one position a little longer to stretch on one side if that feels good. And then coming round to the other side, so making the circles go the other way, off to the left, back, right, forward. Hopefully already you're feeling a nice deep stretch through those hips. And this is a really great movement to do daily. And then just rocking backwards and forwards. And then coming into a neutral spine position. So hands directly underneath the shoulders and hips and knees aligned. Knees are about hip width apart. We're going to drop the left elbow onto the ground and then come up onto the right fingertips as we take the right thigh out to the side. So we're facing sideways like a side plank. We're trying to turn the right thigh to the side. You might drop the head, or you might look underneath and make sure your right knee has disappeared out of your view, or as if it could. Open through that right hip, and then straighten it up and place it down. Coming to the other side, dropping down onto the right elbow, Left knee comes up and out to the side, thigh faces the left. You can look down, maybe do a quick check to find that knee trying to disappear. Make sure your neck is relaxed, no tension there at all. And there's a bit of activity through the legs and the belly. Can you also connect with your breath? Stay with the breath. And then straightening up, coming up onto both hands and placing that knee down. Good. So we're going to repeat that, or if that felt fairly easy for you, feel free to come up onto downward dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, taking the right leg up into the air and then opening it out to the side. So I like to call this one hippie dog. As the right thigh faces the right, again we're trying to make that knee disappear. Make sure you stay on hands and knees if that serves you better today. And then straightening up and placing it down. Left leg comes up, opens out to the side. It's as if the toes are trying to tap the opposite shoulder. Feel the knee trying to lengthen away, making sure you're not collapsing into the chest. Arms are nice and strong, fingers spread wide, sharing that weight load. Take the leg back up and exhale, placing it down. So you might come back down onto your knees. We're going to keep going from this position. So we're going to raise the right leg up into the air. Big breath in. As you exhale, I want the knee to cross the body towards the opposite elbow, then to the same elbow, then up and back behind you. We're making a figure eight or an infinity symbol here, if you like. So as we cross from elbow to elbow, we then open into that hippie dog and draw a big circle up the top as well. Circle at the bottom and circle up the top. One more on this side. Remember, you could be on your knees. Take it up, straighten it out, and place it down. Left leg comes up, big breath in, cross it over. So on your knees, you'll be still bringing that knee up and over to the opposite elbow. You could drop down with one right elbow, or you could do it with both hands. Doesn't really matter, whichever feels better for you, so that you can just feel that your hip is loosening up. We're just trying to get that synovial fluid in the hip joint nice and slippery again. So warming up the hip joint. And straighten up through the leg and placing it down. Good. And then taking the knees out nice and wide and dropping back to child's pose with your arms extended. So let your knees go as wide as feels comfortable for you. Really kind of send them out as far as they can go. So within your range. 2 more deep breaths here. And then walking the hands back towards the feet, turning the toes over and bringing yourself into Malasana, into your garland pose. We let the knees and the elbows meet and encourage one another to open a little more. So the elbows are sending the knees out a little wider, and then the knees can press into the elbows so that we can activate those thighs a little more. But at the same time, the thighs are trying to open themselves out. It doesn't matter whether you need to balance on blankets, blocks, whatever you've got at home to use. And if it's a bit steep for you to come down this low, then just bring yourself up. You might use a wall to rest against, or you might hold yourself here, still opening through the knees. Good. And then bring yourself down onto your seat and coming to lie down onto your back. So again, remembering that you can just pause this video wherever you like. Okay, take as much time as you like in any of the poses. We're going to come to lie down on our backs and take the right foot onto the left thigh into ankle to knee. So we're going to catch the base of the left thigh or over the shin, wherever feels right for you. Just flex your right foot for me as if you could draw the pinky toe towards the outer knee. So we're everting that foot. And then we're going to start to draw circles with those toes. If you can't reach the base of the thigh or anywhere else on the leg, don't worry, just let the arms rest and have the left foot on the ground. 2 more deep breaths here. Stay longer here if you can pause the video. This is a really nice one to do daily. As you try to open that right hip out to the side and lengthen your tailbone away from you. when you're ready to release. Changing sides, and bring the left knee out to the side. Left foot is active, so we're dorsiflexing through the foot, and you might start to draw circles with those right toes. Again, you could be holding down the base of the thigh, which might not feel so far away to reach as the knee, or resting the hands down. Focus your awareness on that left hip right now. What can you feel? Where can you send the breath a little more to help you encourage to open that hip? Softening the neck and shoulders. Staying here as long as you have time to do, a little longer than the video allows if you can. And then release. Placing a hand on each kneecap, drawing some circles with the knees now. So 2 independent circles, sending the knees out from side to side. And then making the circles go the other way. Kind of let the arms do all the work so that your legs can just relax into the movements and can soften a little. Try to ease up any tension in the fronts of those hips. And then just if you've got handy rolled up towels or blankets, whatever you might have, just pause the video, go grab some. If you've got something to use, go and grab it. If you don't, doesn't matter, we can do this without props as well. So if you've got props, we're going to lie them underneath our sacrum, the big flat bone at the base of the spine. And then bringing the right knee in, hug it in towards you and extend the left leg away. So your left leg might hover off the ground, it might touch the ground, doesn't matter, but as long as your sacrum feels even, so lower back doesn't feel lopsided at all, make sure the props are helping you there. And then we squeeze the right thigh in towards you. You don't need to hold the knee itself. You can hold the thigh if you're looking after knee issues. Pointing the toes, so plantar flexing, trying to let those tops of the shins stretch as well, and especially the whole of the front of the left leg. Squeezing into the right side of the digestive system. Inhale to change, and exhale, squeeze the left side in. Extend out through the right. So there's a bit of activity through the arms, but we still want to keep those shoulders relaxed and the neck. Squeeze that left side in. Left side of digestive system being stimulated here. And at the same time, we're deeply stretching through the front of the right psoas. So the big hip flexor muscle and the iliacus around the front of the hip here. Doesn't matter if you don't know what they are. You might just feel a nice deep stretch at the front of the hip. And sometimes this can also assist with lower back ache, believe it or not. Stretching the front of this hip muscle can really help release some kinds of back tension. So again, I encourage you to repeat that and do one more on each side for a lot longer. Pause the video if you've got time. If not, don't worry. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out wide. So we're going to hold here for as long as you have time. When you've done with the pose, we're going to bring the knees up and walk the feet out wide. So it's just a counter pose here. The feet go off the mat and the knees drop in. And that'll be when you're finished, okay? So in the meantime, I encourage you to hold Supta Baddha Konasana as long as you like. You might put some padding underneath the thighs, a couple of rolled up blankets, or if you've got blocks, you could use those. Or if it's easy, just let the knees fall on their own. Let the body relax. Let the hips just open. Let them take their time. Closing the eyes. Allow everything to soften. Taking your time there. When you come out of the pose, come into that counter pose with the knees falling in together. And then just lying down with your eyes closed for a little while. Taking your awareness into your hips. And sending lots of love there. Love and compassion. Taking your time. Namaste.